Welcome back, everyone. Today I have a special surprise for you. Not only does my son, Nate Skates 182, have a channel, but my oldest son just started a channel as well, Joaquin Jr. He's my oldest son, and I figured this would be a good name for him, and he agreed, and he likes what I do. He appreciates what I do. He appreciates what many of you First Amendment auditors and cop watchers do as well, and he supports what we do, and we talk a lot. We talk politics, we talk police unions, we talk qualified immunity, internal investigations. We talk about all these things, and he understands exactly what I mean. And he decided to make this video in lieu of what's going on in policing in America today. So without further ado, check out this video that my son put together. Go subscribe to his channel, Joaquin Jr. I'll put the link in the description. And if you're not subscribed to Nate Skates 182, my other son, please go subscribe to his channel as well. What do we know, guys? We have a family of First Amendment supporters. And I hope you're proud of us, because we will continue to fight for freedom. Thank you, guys. Go support Joaquin Jr. I'll see you guys over there in the comment section.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my channel, Joaquin Jr. Today I'm going to be doing things a little bit differently. I'm not going to be going through a video that a cop watch or public official interaction. Today I'm going to be breaking down a clip that was pulled from Joe Rogan's podcast. The discussion was about police brutality and how to address it. I would like everybody to pay attention to what they're actually talking about as far as solutions go. The solutions have been talked about for the past 2 years now by my own father and many other hardworking and dedicated cop watchers and First Amendment auditors out there. So without further ado, let's watch this clip.
So how do you reaffirm the trust in law enforcement, and what do you do to reform law enforcement? Because clearly there are some people that are cops that should not be cops.
The problem ain't black and white, bro. It ain't. You want to know what it is? Qualified immunity, internal investigations, police unions, and you guys need to start buying your own insurance. So when you make mistakes, it comes out of your dime, not ours. Makes sense, huh?
So there are a few things that you can do right off the bat, and that people right, left, and center have sort of talked about. And one of them is that you can abridge qualified immunity in certain areas. So qualified immunity is the idea that you're not liable to civil suit if you don't do something bad that has specifically had a precedent in law.
All jokes aside, I think we're glad that this conversation is actually being had for once. Not a lot of people talk about ending qualified immunity and police unions as a solution.
So you could do something bad, but as long as nobody else has done the same exact bad thing before, you're not subjected to civil liability. You could curb that.
Explain that again?
It's a little complicated. So qualified immunity generally means that if I do something bad, then as a police officer, if I act within the scope of my general reasonable authority, you can't sue me for it. The actual way
if you do something bad, what if you shoot somebody while you're operating?
So the reason that qualified immunity, as currently understood under Supreme Court doctrine, is too broad, is because that the standard used to be you would have to act as a reasonable police officer. If you acted as a reasonable police officer and you took a reasonable action, right? Somebody went for their waistband, they had an object in there, you didn't know if it was a gun, you shot them, right? You wouldn't presumably be suable because that's still reasonable. You track a guy down, you shoot him in the back, you know, and then you plant a gun on him, that presumably would be suable, right? He'd be personally liable. So the way that Supreme Court has done this is they broaden qualified immunity.
Okay, so what Ben's actually advocating for is limiting the parameters of qualified immunity within the Supreme Court, thus making it harder to qualify for immunity.
Police union contracts right now protect a lot of bad cops, right? But because the police unions are designed to protect the members of the union, just like any other union.
Yeah.
And so what that means is that police unions, I'm not a fan of public sector unions generally, but police unions need to be abridged in their ability to protect cops who do something wrong. Third, you need to have a national registry of cops who are disciplined for violation of procedure so that they can't just leave LAPD and then go work for a Ferguson PD.
Okay, in my opinion, this last solution should just be common sense. If you get fired from your job for conduct unrepresentative to the department, then you should not be allowed to apply to another department.
Or something, right? Those are some easy things that you could do right off the bat. But the biggest thing right now, the biggest factor in terms of lack of faith between police and citizens really is the media.
This is true. I'm not some big conspiracy theorist, but the media does sway a lot of public opinion due to the way they try to word and angle certain stories.
Like cutting back funding to the police in a time of rising crime is a good idea because you saw a video on YouTube.
Well, I think we both agree that's a terrible idea.
defunding is not part of the solution. It will actually hinder a lot of things capable of reform, reconstruction internally to some of these police departments.
But when you look at these videos, the positive side, if there is any positive side, is that they're accountable now.
And that's the point of this, right? Cop watching, First Amendment auditing, holding these public officials accountable, because they do get paid by our tax dollars. So don't you think they should be held accountable? Thank you for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed the video, hit that thumbs up. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe. If you didn't like this video or you think I should do something different, please leave it on in the comment section. I appreciate any type of criticism. Thank you.
They say it takes a village to raise a family. And I also know that when a family owns a farm, every member of that family has to get up and go to work some way, somehow. They got to do some kind of job. Well, for some reason, this family kind of picked up on the whole freedom movement. My son decided to go into the Marines. I started cop watching. My youngest son decided he wanted to do this with me as well. So we decided to do it together. My youngest son, Nate Skates, I believe is also very brave. It could be a little scary sometimes just because we know what police are willing to do, especially when they're not on camera. And nonetheless, my oldest son decided to make videos as well in support of what we do. And he figured being a Marine would help him out as well with some ideas and some thoughts. And I told him to make a channel and see where we go from there. So if you guys get a chance, please go subscribe to my two sons, Nate Skates 182 and San Joaquin Jr. And let's get their channels up there. And I just appreciate every single one of you guys. Thank you. See you guys on the next video.